There are two things that all of you in this room are going to have to be good at doing if you're going to be in business a year from now. Two things. Number one is leadership. Number two is sales. Leadership has nothing to do with a title, nothing to do with a diploma, nothing to do with a label. Here's how we define leadership. Leadership is how you have chosen to live your life. Leadership is how you act, how you talk, the tone in your voice. And here's what's really interesting about leadership, because the moment you leave your house, you're influencing. Leadership means that you understand that you are influencing someone, a child, a coworker, a peer, someone in the grocery store. You are influencing someone every time you are in the presence of another human being. How you dress, how you act, how you talk. But here's what's great about leadership. Leadership comes out not when times are great. Wow, if things are going great, it's been a great year, the money's flowing in, everything is healthy and happy, that's a piece of cake to be a decent human being. Do you know when character really shows up? Character shows up when your life is so far from what you had planned that you can barely breathe. Character shows up when this isn't at all what you had planned for. For example, how many of you would say that your company had a bit of a hiccup last year? Yeah? Let me talk about that for a second, because you're through it and over it and moving on. But I want to share something with you. I speak to 100 companies a year. I've been doing this for 25 years. And let me tell you what amazes me about your company, Arbonne. Amazes me. I would say last year, 90% of every company I talked to were having problems financially. 90%. Your company's financial situation was very public. But let me tell you something interesting. I spoke to at least 40 companies last year who had financial issues that were never public. No one ever read about them, no one ever heard about them. Because do you know how they handled their financial situation? They laid off 30% of their employees. They totally stopped giving out bonuses. They cut commissions up to 50%. And they canceled every conference and convention within their industry. But they kept it quiet. Now, I'm going to ask myself, your situation took place in 37 days from the moment it hit the paper until the moment it was over. Okay? That is a record, ladies and gentlemen. That is unbelievable. But something more important, your company never laid off a human being. Your company did not cut your raises, they did not cut your commission structure, and they did not pare down on one single conference, meeting, or convention. And do you know how absolutely amazing that is? So, I will tell you this. Hats off to Arbonne, because if it's 37, here's what they chose. They chose to go public and not touch one single employee's life in this room. And that is probably about the coolest thing any company could have ever done. I learned when I was 15 years old not to focus on my weaknesses. Believe it or not, I wanted to be an anthropologist. Can't you picture me? Freshman year of high school, I started taking all my science classes. Got a D in earth science, got a D in biology. But I wanted to be an anthropologist. So I'm sitting in class one day, and grades are bad, and I don't even get what they're talking about, and I'm feeling like a failure. And all of a sudden, I'm talking, and I got kind of an attitude about me because I'm upset, and I'm mad at myself. And all of a sudden, the teacher looks at me and says, "Connie, get out." He said, "I've had it with you. All you do is here is talk. You're not trying. Your grades are horrible. You're not going to make this. I'll doubt if you're even going to pass science. What are you thinking? You're not going to amount to anything in this. Just go, 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 go." Well, with my little attitude, I walked out in the hall, but when I got out in the hall, tears started coming. And I stood there and I thought, is that really true? I'm never going to amount to anything? And right then, a brand new teacher, 21 years old, a young man, he came by me and he saw me crying. He says, "What's wrong?" And I told him. He says, "Huh, so you talk a lot?" "Yeah." He said, "Be in my office at 3 o'clock this afternoon." I'm like, "God, I'm in trouble with him. I don't even know what I did." 3 o'clock, I head down, knock on the door, and he walks out. And I tell you what, at 15 years old, he taught me a lesson I've never forgotten. He says, "Connie, what do you want to do more than anything in your life?" I said, "I want to be an anthropologist." He says, "Forget it." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Forget it. It's not going to happen. You're no good in science. It's not going to happen. So tell me what you're good at." "Well, I don't know. I'm not good at." He said, "Well, you talk a lot, don't you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, open the door, try us as a speech and debate team." By my junior year, I was their lead debater. By my senior year, leading the play. Won a scholarship to college in speech and drama, and that's what I've done my whole entire life. And you know what? Here's my motto. If I was going to give you one tip for success, it's this: figure out what you're good at and go after it with every fiber of your being, and stop wasting on things that you are bad. Because I'll be real honest with you, there's not a whole lot I'm good at. So if I was going to spend time improving my weaknesses, I don't even know where I'd be right now. I was never a straight A student. I was never a straight B student. I can't cook, I can't dance, I'm not very athletic, and I can't do any crafts. But I can talk. Agile. I think this company represents what I just said more than almost any other networking company. I've been speaking to a lot of networking companies. And I have to tell you, I'm an outsider, okay? I'm out of your industry. So let me tell you, as honestly as I can, this company absolutely blows me away, and here's why. Circles, you're applauding and you don't even know why, okay? I tell you why Agile blows me away, because you know what most network marketing companies are doing right now? They're not doing conventions, because they're focusing on their weaknesses. They're focusing on the fact that the global economy isn't good. They're focusing on the fact that sales weren't as high, or they're focusing on the fact that people are, whatever they're doing, and they're forgetting to focus on their strengths. Agile knows one thing. The main and only strength of Agile is what? You. This is what this is about. This is about you.